Thunder Report from 107.7 The Franchise.
On an ice-cold night outside Chesapeake Energy Arena, the Thunder were red hot inside, shooting 50% from the field, including Russell Westbrook's 10 of 12 night, including 4 of 5 from the three-point arc. He scored 26 points, and the Thunder raced to a 116-99 win over the Charlotte Bobcats. Kevin Durant added 28 points, and while the two stars were the leading scorers, it was a couple of guys who aren't stars that may have been part of the story in the win. Steven Adams, of course, is starting for the injured Kendrick Perkins, and Perry Jones got the start tonight for Thabo Sefolosha. We talk about all of that as we go inside the locker room. First, Thunder coach Scott Brooks, followed by Kevin Durant, then Russell Westbrook.
I thought Russell really had a great command of the game. I think it's good to see him continue to get his game legs under him and give the staff a lot of credit. They've putting him in a position to get better day by day, but I thought he really controlled the game tonight. He only had 5 assists, but I thought easily could have been 5 or 6 other ones. We got fouled on some of his great passes around the basket. So,
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. We talked a lot about the big lineup pregame, but down the stretch you went with the small guys, 3-point guards and Durant and Ibaka. What did they specifically do tonight to get the job done and break open the game?
Well, I thought we did a great job just rebounding the basketball. They had 0 offensive rebounds in the first half and only 2 for the game. That's the versatility that we have. We can play a small, big, a hybrid lineup, a super small lineup. We haven't played a super big lineup yet, but I think Kevin gives us the flexibility there because he can guard multiple players, and he can play 4, 3, 2, and sometimes he can play the 1. But I thought our defense was good in that fourth quarter. We really dialed in. They shot a 44%, which was good for the game.
You mentioned Russell having his legs back under him. Is that kind of steal and dunk maybe the snapshot that shows you, athletically he looks fully back?
Well, I think when he first came back, he was ready to come back. But as we all know, games are different than practice, and practice are different than shoot-around. So it's just the continued work that he's going to continue to put in some of the games that he has under his belt now. You just get a feel for the game. The speed of the game is, he's at a good place right now. He's at a place that we're very comfortable with. And yes, that steal and the dunk was, that's vintage Russell. He has the ability to change the game both ends of the floor. I loved his defense tonight. He was really getting in. Kemba Walker. Walker is as quick as any guard in this league, and he's having a great year. But I thought Russell's activity was good.
Charles Thompson, Prairie Broadcasting. Coach, this team probably about as best as anyone. What would you say overall with team continuity with Russell back and the flow of the offense and defensive end? What would you say that would be at?
I think it's pretty good, actually, considering, we've had a couple of different things happen. And one thing I like about our group, we've never talked about it in our locker room. We've never talked about it on our practice floor. We don't talk about it during timeouts, but we had some changes. Russell's coming back, Tabo's out, Perk was out. The guys don't use that as an excuse, but the continuity I think is good right now, considering all that's taken place within the last 2 weeks or 10 days. I'm happy with the guys that they've done. They've stepped up, and bit by bit. I thought Perry came in, gave us some good defensive minutes, and in the second half, I thought he came in, was active, attacked the basket for the dunk. But everybody's chipping in. That's what good teams do. You have to have everybody sacrificing.
Dave Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Scott, would you talk about Perry's start and with Perry and Steven, maybe not what they had in the stat line, but what you liked or observed in their start?
I think, first I like Perry's his length on the defensive end. His athleticism in transition is good. Like I said before the game, that position, I'm going to tinker a little bit with that position. It might be game to game, it might be a couple of games here, but I think the minutes that he gave us tonight were real good. And Steven, he's learning every day, and not only is he learning what we're doing, he's learning who he's guarding. And I thought he did a decent job. I mean, that kid Jefferson is hard to guard. He's hard to guard. He has a lot of moves. He's one of the best low post scorers in the game with his pump fake and all of his up and unders. And he got him a couple of times, but that's somewhat expected with the experience that Steven has right now. But I think his minutes so far has been good.
What does it mean to this team for Russ to be able to come out and be efficient like that and be dominant like that?
I mean, he's always been dominant. He didn't lose his skills when he went out. He had to get a rhythm. Every player missed that much time. You got to get a rhythm for a game. Timing is right. So tonight he was phenomenal. It was great. That dunk capped it off, and he was aggressive all night, playing downhill on the pick and rolls. He was just great tonight. That was good to see.
You guys kept him off the offensive glass, held him to only 2, but you were also able to get out and run. What factor did that dynamic play?
We had them shooting jump shots. They hit some early on, but that's not their identity. They want to get down in the paint. But I think we did a good job of closing that off and making them shoot jumpers. And sometimes you got to live with the contested ones. So that's what we did. We didn't get discouraged, and we just kept playing. And fourth quarter defense was better.
Kevin, what do you think about Perry Jones starting?
It was good. I mean, he came out aggressive. Defensively was good. And, he's just growing each and every day, man. His confidence is growing from him starting, I think. So you just got to keep it up.
What do you think about, other than his stat line, just a mentality and what it takes to get out there first?
We don't look at just stat lines here. It could be very deceiving. Like Hasheem, I thought he was great tonight. He didn't score. He had 5 fouls, so that looked bad in the stat sheet. But he played a phenomenal game, just with his energy, his effort, his physicality on pick and rolls in post. And Perry did the same thing, just using his length. He had a huge dunk. I think that gave us some momentum a little bit. And, he played hard, so, numbers can be deceiving.
Kevin, you mentioned that fourth quarter defense. You had the big burst after they cut it to like a one-possession game. What fueled that burst in your night?
We just had to get good offense. Coach drew up some great plays for us in the fourth, and I think that gave us a little bit of energy. We closed the paint up, and we made them, shoot over hands, and we did a good job of scrambling. And, they had to shoot a few with 2 or 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So once we do that, man, we use our length and just show presentation on defense, be in the stance. I think we're a good defensive team when we do that.
The Russ coach has been talking about getting that defensive effort all the way through the fourth quarter. Tonight, you guys hold them to 18 points in the fourth. What was the biggest difference?
Just being consistent, doing a good job of being more physical, locking in on getting stops every time down the floor.
For you particularly, you seem to be really in a flow. Started out 8 from the field. How'd you go out there?
Just trying to take my time and, whatever shot is given to me, trying to take it, but at the same time, just take my time and, knock him down.
Take your time even when you were running down the court with that tomahawk dunk?
Well, that time I kind of just turned it up a notch, but, still take my time.
What does it say that you guys have 2 guys out of the starting lineup tonight? Each guy steps up. I know it's
a tough road for us, but great Hash, Perry, Reggie, Jeremy. Those guys did a great job of coming in, just doing their role.
So you're kind of on tape for 3 of the last 4 games. Are you really kind of feeling the rhythm with that outside shot?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm just the guys go under. I just try to make them respect it, take my time, and try to knock them down.
What's the biggest difference between how you felt tonight and how you felt your first game back?
I mean, just the more I play, the more rhythm I'm able to catch and the more rhythm I'm able to get.
The Caron Butler signing was official. What do you think he can give you, especially on top of it?
I mean, he's a veteran. He's done a great job in this league thus far. He's a great shooter, and he's a good guy from what I hear. And great to have him aboard.
That's Thunder guard Russell Westbrook. Next up, the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday night. We get started at Toby Keith's on the TotallyTickets.com countdown to tip-off show at 6 o'clock. The Thunder moved their record to 45-15 after the 116-99 win over Charlotte. That's this Thunder Report. I'm David Garrett for 107.7 The Franchise.